Okay, so on this week task, we will check additional info on the file formats, and I will explain how to export all the file formats and remind, because next week is the final week for lab work submission, and you will need to submit lab work number 1 for the grading. So let's open Revit application, and also let's open FormIt. You cannot see my screen? Share. Okay, let's share. Sharing. Now you can see. Okay, great. And let's go to FormIt. So first part of lab work number 1 is concept design. So for concept design, we need to upload 2 files. One is EXM for FormIt file, and another one is PNG, image file. On file types, you can find more details. Control F, file types, file formats, types. You can find instructions here. So all file types explained in this table. Okay, so for this example, let's connect to my profile. Okay, let's use double security option, authentication code. And for work, I recommend to pin the work programs to your taskbar, and you can easily access the programs directly from your taskbar, and all the programs will be in bottom part. So it's easy to access the data. Okay, so for this example, I will just put a simple box and show how to export. So first of all, file naming, of course. So regarding file names, Control F, name, file naming. I take this example. Okay, I don't need the last part for now. Copy and go here. And for this example, I created, and now I click save as locally, and click activate history, click OK, and file is exported. Now I should move the file to the needed location. So I Control X the file and go to my cloud, local cloud, so local file system. And of course I should click pause so I get better performance. And I put the file inside this folder for sharing, 03 for sharing. So my EXM file is located here. Next file type is PNG file. So for this task, I just go to visual representation, click the shadows. I put the shadows on my object. And for visual representation, I don't need all these work in progress elements like grids, axis lines, and other components. So I just turn off grid lines, levels, axis, and I leave only visual object so I can have nice representation of my concept project. And I orient my project to the needed angle, and I just click export locally and select PNG file and click export. So PNG file created. I Ctrl X the file, cut it out from the downloads and move it to work in progress folder. Work in progress, sharing folder, and put the file here. So now I have two file types, PNG and EXM, for final part from FormIt. So EXM done and PNG is done. Now let's speak and let's remember how to do PDF, EFC, Revit, DVG, and DWFx files. Now for exporting Revit file, all Revit files, all models should be exported using specific preparation. So it means we need to use a special add-in, which is called transmit a model. So it means we need to transmit models. So transmitted model have all the options and all the settings according to our requirements. So before I transmit the model, it's good practice to put these models out from our cloud location. So it means for this example, I will transmit models from, I will select architecture model, this one. So this one is Autodesk sample project created by German Autodesk company, and I will put it for temporary in this location. I can open and show you this file. So this file shows all the basic functions and features of Autodesk Revit. So if you want to see what is possible to do with Revit using default tools, you can use this golden nugget sample project, and all the possibilities are represented here. And file is quite large, 129 kilobytes. And of course, all the information is in German. In any case, I just jump to sheets, and here I have architecture part, engineering part, and coordination part. And if I just go through the files, I can see what are the possibilities. So here we can see reinforcement constructions, wood constructions, we can see steel construction elements with all the bolts, engineering part, architecture part, and renders and other representation of the model. If we go to the plan area, so we have all the plan list, so all the drawings are represented here. So of course, this document is following German standard requirements. Some parts are from international standards, but basic part is from German documents. And here we can see all the instructions and parts. So all this concept art is here in a more complex representation than we did in our project. So in FormIt we created basic shapes, and here it's showing what are the possibilities using Revit application. Okay, so in any case, I just click close for this document, because I need to close my files before I can use eTransmit tool. And for using Autodesk files can have protection. So for some sample Autodesk files, you can find this read-only option activated, and in this case, you cannot modify, save, or do any modification for the file. So to activate modification options, you need to turn off read-only option here. Now I can activate transmittal model tool, and I just go and browse for my model. in your case, you will browse your project model, select your project, select a folder for save location. So for temporary, I will save it in my disk D. Later, I will move files to my cloud location, work in progress folder structure. Now include transmittal and error report. It's important to include txt file which explains what was happening in my file preparation. Next part, create output folder for each source model. So I don't need it. I would like to have a simplified folder structure and all the files in one folder. Next important part is add files. So in here, I should select all the links, all the files. So the program exports all the contained documents which is related to my model. So if I open the model, I can see all the data. Sometimes, depending on the user who will use your model, you can uncheck all the parameters and send only the Revit model without additional links, additional images, or CAD links, and so on. In our case, all these parameters should be selected. Also, if you see what the eTransmit tool is not combining all the needed files, you can click Add Files and add additional files which should be related to main model and project. Next part is important one, to clean up the files. So I use Clean tool and I activate disable worksets, purge unused file elements. And next part, I should purge all the views, which is work in progress. So it means I leave only the views on sheets and all other views will be deleted. Sometimes you need to send only the 3D model. So in this case, you can select remove all sheets, but include, in this case, I would like include only the 3D views, and I include only 3D views for other companies to link my model and have it for the work. In our case, we will use include all sheets because I will check your sheet documents with all the views, and all extra views is not needed. And also I select save and save this for next time. And how to use eTransmit tool, you can read more in Autodesk help. Always go to Autodesk help and try to understand the structure of the help tree and where is located all these instructions. And here you can go through all the subsections and best practice eTransmit for Autodesk Revit. And here you have some tips how to use this document. So then you give files to teacher, send it to the client or other team members. You should use eTransmit tool. And I should create a screenshot of this preset, copy it and move this preset in my class notebook. I go to the class notebook, select my notebook. So each of you have your own notebook, and I go to teachers only, and in my teachers notebook, I will create additional page and week 7, and I just put some files, some documents, so I remember what I did during the class, and it will save me time because I don't need to go to the videos to check all the settings. I have print screen and I can just take this one. Also, I can click draw tool and highlight main parts. So I need to do this part, this part. I need to check all these elements, check these parameters and check this one and this one, and I can click transmit. So I highlighted the most important parts. If I need, I can put additional numbers or other elements on here so I can get information. And also in OneNote, if I click Control Find and I type add, the program should read my page and select all the locations of the words. Also, it should recognize the pictures and it should show all the pictures on my document. Let's click next. It's not recognizing. Okay. Alt text, smart lookup. We value your privacy. Got it. Looks like you didn't select any text. Okay. Transmit. Alt text. I know it works, but now it doesn't find. Maybe I need to activate special tools here. Recognize image information. Class notebook. Okay. Help. View. Draw. Insert. Home. Feed, dictate, spell. Or maybe it needs a little bit time to organize all the information. In any case, I just make nice note and I have it for later use, and electronic notes can save me a lot of time. Okay, so preset is done. I click transmit model. Depending on your model size, and it can take some time. I can grab a cup of tea or something like that. And till it exports, I can open AutoCAD or Civil 3D, any AutoCAD application. And the same option, the same functions are also in AutoCAD. So also, if you use AutoCAD drawings, you should use the same eTransmit tool to transmit model and drawings. Okay, so till the process is running. So for next class, I found new classroom. So I will create important message here. Okay. New classroom. SRL on 619. I hope this one will be free for our class. It has more powerful computers, has camera, and then maybe we will not have such problem like last class, some recording was lost, so on. So from 1620 we go to LW1 619. So it's above us, upstairs, and it will be near our class and so on. So it will be more comfortable to get in another room. And let's inform. You go to room. Okay. So after the program is doing or finishing the project, I have this information. I get error were encountered while saving. So it means something was wrong. I click open folder and I go to report document and I check all the reports. So transmittal report created on this date. Okay, model. This is transmittal based on this file, root model, and the following files could not be located or included due errors. So it means I was not able to export this txt file, and also I was missing additional file which represents engineering system file. So I need to fix this error. In your case, you have only one model, so you should not get such error. I click OK. So it means from my files, I need to copy this file also to the same location in Drive D. And after transmittal, the program creates this nice folder with all the date, all the time, and I have all the transmittal inside here. So normally in real projects, we just click on this, we click 7-zip, and we create zip file for the project documents to share. And this document is shared on the internet, emails, and so on. Of course, the size is 200 megabytes, so it will not be sent by email. So we just use cloud platforms and share the document. Okay, so I uploaded the additional file, read only. Okay, and now I can try and repeat the same actions. So if I open and activate this tool again, I have all the transmittal settings from last time, and I just click transmit the models, and the program is working on this task. And how to use eTransmit on AutoCAD, I will show later when we will create DWG files in our project. So now let's wait a little bit till the transmittal process is finished. And also normally the file size should be decreased. If I look to the main file, so the size is 129 megabytes. After transmittal process, the size of file should be decreased and should be smaller. But in our case, the file size is larger. If I look to not compressed file, so it's 240 megabytes. So it means the program is technically doing some additional modifications. So all the information is nicely compact for the user who will view the document after you send it to the final user. So it's important to share only the data which is needed for specific user, and not too much, not too less. And also all the files and documents, what is work in progress, should be not leaving your machine. You just send information, cleaned information. In real projects, we have a lot of issues because people just send the work in progress files, and later you have a lot of issues working with these files. Okay, so the errors is still active, so I can just open and see if what is the error problem, error report. So here I have a lot of spaces in my file which was damaged or not created. So the file which is not working is this one. So it means this file is not catching up information from my linked file. So I need to open this file and do the corrections. So I just go here, open the file. Okay, and I need to open the file. Engineering system file. So in most cases, the issue or the problem is related to linked files because engineers are not creating their own model. They just use architecture models, and in their drawings, the information is from the linked file. So after the file is opened, I can explain in more detail. So it means all the information here you can see in colors is in engineering equipment file, and all the gray color objects are from architecture model, and it's linked model. So how to work with link models? You should go insert, click manage links, and in here we can specify linked files or update link files. In our project, as I showed for top surface, we use CAD link files and link the CAD files. In other projects, we can get EXE links, DWF links, point cloud links, topography, PDF image links, and so on. And for this main architecture model, the program now is not knowing in which location it should look for this file of this document, because the path type is relative, and I need to say the program looked for this file in specific folder. So I select and highlight the file which is not loaded, and I click reload from. I go to my disk D and select architecture model and click open. So now I can click OK. Now the program knows where architecture model is located. I can click save. I can close the project. I don't need to close all the Revit application. Always you can close just the model. You can go to files and close. You can close the main model, and I can continue with Revit. I go to add-ins, select transmit a model. Settings are the same. Click transmit model. So from here you can see, depending on the results, you need to make additional iterations, because engineer always should double check the information, what you are sending. In our case, the user will get wrong or damaged data. So for the data quality, always responsible is engineer or the person who is sending the information. So always double check. And also, after the transmittal is finished, you should go to the folder. You should open the main folder and also open the model, check out if everything is okay. And if it's okay, you can just make zip file and send this data for the client or other participant in the project. So in the background, the program is just opening the files, doing all the settings and preparation work. So we get the final results. So in your models, I think you will get better results, because Autodesk sample projects, I think, is nicely cleaned and only the needed info is left in the file, so we don't see additional improvement in the files. Okay, I still have errors, so I should open and check what is error report. Yeah, still the spaces are in the wrong position. So now I have two files, and the following file could not be located or included due to errors. So it means keynote file is also missing. So I can do additional iterations till I don't get any errors. But for this example and representation how the tool works, I think it's enough. And in your case, you should avoid errors. So now I will just delete all these files and leave only the final version and move the final version inside my project documents and for sharing 03 folder. And in this folder, I have this exported file with other class, and I just need to create zip file from this document. So 7-zip, create zip file, and this package can be shared with all the participants. So in our project, we are sharing only the Revit file. We are not sharing additional components from the Revit file because I need simplified representation of some files, and it's more practical for me to check files and so on. So in our case, we just take a Revit file from eTransmit and just drag and drop inside our project, inside Trimble Connect. So regarding Revit files, EFC files, let's jump and let's open our project and let's continue on other file formats. So open our project, work in progress documents. Let's open the last version. Okay, so I go to 3D model. And for exporting the data, final data from our model, we need to make some preparation. So for exporting, I should use coordination model. So coordination model should have only the needed information. So now in my coordination model, I have a little bit too much extra objects like a DWG file and so on. So in coordination model, I need to clean a little bit, and I should turn off all my imports. And also I should activate mass objects so I can see the mass objects in my export file. So this is my file prepared for export, and also for topography, I can turn off triangulation so I can see only nice model like this one. Okay, and this model can be used to export 3D models. And I click Export, EFC, and for sharing, I just use architecture reference model. I select Browse. I use temporary location like disk D. And for modification, I can also create additional reference model and put all the additional data. But for now, for this example, I just select this basic option, architecture preset. File headers, so all the information should be filled up, author name, author email, organization, authorization, and project address data also should be filled up. Now it's not filled up, but for exporting, I think if you do one time filling up all that data here, it automatically will stay and will always be exported. And I click export. Okay, I need to change back to disk D, save, export, and I click OK. So in the bottom part, in the bottom left part, you can see EFC export processing, non-special elements. In the model, I have 1,319 elements. Now it's stuck on element 1,100, and now it's finished. And in my disk, I should see my EFC model. And like I mentioned, you should open and check out if EFC model is okay. You can use Trimble Connect to open, or you can use another tool, which is called Autodesk Online Viewer. So it's free tool for checking out any CAD BIM formats. So if you have Tekla projects or other projects, upload new file and just drag and drop CAD file here, EFC file, CAD file, Revit file, and any other file here. And it should open and show you DWG files also works and so on. So it means you don't need to have any application, any program to install. It's free, Autodesk Viewer online. You just drag and drop the file and it will show you the file. I think you need to connect to your account, Autodesk account, but in some cases, maybe it just works, just drag and drop. And now it's preparing, processing the file, so it can take a little bit time, so we can jump back here. Okay, so regarding EFC file, done, Revit done, and now let's jump to DWG file. How to export DWG file from Revit? So for DWG file, lab work number 1, we have site plan. So we need to export the site plan. So the final document, in this case, will be site plan. Now my site plan looks a little bit messy, so I need to fix all the things here. So maybe work in progress. Maybe I opened. No, I think it's okay. No, it looks okay. I opened the latest model. Okay, so in here, I need to make some cleaning before I can continue. So it means I need to change sheet size, maybe to A2 format. Also, I need to crop a little bit the scope boxes and other parts. So I just go and turn on all the elements. Yeah, so this one represents my site, so I move it so it grabs all the site information. So I think we did last time, so let's repeat it. And I just change the site data here. And also I go a little bit down, so I grab all the project. Next part is my project zone. So I just drag and select only the project part. So it means only all the elements which are inside my property. So I grab all this data inside my property. And also for the project data, I also move a little bit down so I can grab all underground elements. And the last one is the main building. So for the main building, I'll also update this checkbox. And like last time, it gives me some annotation. Some grid lines will be not visible. And I can turn on wireframe and just delete these grid lines. These are not needed anymore. Okay, now my scope boxes is nicely updated, and After updating scope boxes, I should see better result in my final site plan. And now I can see my objects are much smaller, and I can continue on working with objects. So in here, I should say it's okay. It's ZZ site. So in this case, maybe I should select project, and it will crop all the data for my project part, and I can move the project here. For my 3D model, I can just change the scale. So I will go to template view and select the scale, maybe 500, because my project is a little bit larger. And instead of site, I will choose scope box of project, and it should be nice compact 3D model. And I can put it in this location. And extra modifications, in my case, I will turn off imported objects like DWG files and FormIt files. In your case, if FormIt file looks nice, you can leave it here. I click OK. And for model display, I will choose not realistic, but consistent colors. I would like to see a colored model. And I click apply, OK. And now I see better results. All these triangles also is not nice here, so I can go and click model and go to topography, and in here I can turn off triangulation. Now it looks much better. And maybe I would like to see more surrounding, like road and other components, so I will increase the size or select different scope box. Okay, other components, legends, building notes and explanatory of the buildings. I should put them here in the space I have in this location. Okay, so for main drawing, also I modify site plan settings. I just go to edit model, remove important objects, and go to topography and turn off triangulation and click OK, apply, and I have nice clean view. And additional modifications, I should turn off phase filter, just turn off non-phase filters. And for model display, I would like to see colored model. Visually, it's more attractive and I can see more details. In my case, the 3D model is going on top on my main model. So maybe in this case, I need to resize this model much more. So let's change scale maybe to custom one, and let's select 800, scale 800. Okay, now model, 3D model fits nicely in my project. Okay, now the file is prepared. Of course, I need to do all the things what I explained in last lecture. So I need to update the property line of my project, so it goes nicely around my project. My coordinate positions also updated, so I can just move them to these locations. And so composing the drawing and moving all the missing parts to a nice location, it takes time, so we need to be patient, and mostly all the time is preparing all this part. So modeling part is quite easy and it takes very little time. And I don't see my fence around my buildings, so railings, I should turn on the railings. And now the railings is active and I can see my railings. And of course, my railings should be inside my project, not outside my project. So my property line railings are inside. So my fence is inside my project and I have nice situation plan. Okay, so additional components should be modified like I spoke last time and showed examples from real projects. Now let's jump and let's export results. So before I do that, I should click save. I'll save DWG file and save the progress. Now I go to file, click export, select CAD formats and select DWG file. So I should select presetted file settings here. So in these settings, you see ISO standard is selected for layers 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. So all the layers, AutoCAD and Revit layers are presented here. Also, the model is exported in millimeters in shared coordinates system, and all the settings are turned on here. And all the lines, patterns, text, colors also should be organized basically by default settings. And if you have specific lines or patterns, you should show specific file links in the program. Now in here, for lab work number 1, we need just only one drawing. Later, you will need to select more drawings, so you can select all the drawings of the project. So 31 sheets coordination, or you can select in-session view sheets and select sheets in the model. And from here, you can select and put the check mark on the sheets you want for your project. So you double tap and select and check out if the document is in the list, which one is needed. So in our case, current view, sheet only, site plan, click next. And now I should export the DWG file. So for exporting DWG file, I recommend to create DWG folder. So DWG folder, let's say for version 1, and next DWG folder for English. So DWG English version, and this one is Revit project. So for English project version, now file naming. So for file naming, prefix. So prefix should be the main file name, and the naming will be done automatically by the program. All the file views should be exported as separate external reference files, and I click OK. So now what will program do? It will export one DWG file for the sheet and all other view files as separate files. So if I go to the Revit application, in Revit I have everything inside one program. So it means my sheet is here, and inside the sheet I have all these views. So views are separate files. So in AutoCAD drawings, you should follow also the same logic. So let's cut the file here. Let's put it here. Let's replace. Okay. So in DWG file, let's go work in progress. Lab work, DWG English. So in here you can see picture file is separate file. So it's logo file. All the views are separate files. So legend, floor plan, 3D view, and these are instructions for the printing. And this one is main sheet file. So if I open the sheet file, the AutoCAD DWG launcher. Always use this one for DWG files. So the program creates the sheet, it puts the title block, and all the views are linked. So if I go to the model space, in the model space, only the links are presented. So in this main file, no additional drawing should be done. All modifications should be done in the view files, not in the sheet file. So sheet file is for final printing, organizing and combining everything for the final document. So in this links, if I go to insert and I select reference files, so I have here all the list of linked files. There are all the linked files. And if I close this one and I would like to modify my DWG file, so I should go and open, let's say, floor plan. I just go here and do the update on my floor plan. And all files and lines are like separate objects. Normally, if I put the coordinate file, let's say point, I put the point in my property line here. So, and I open property settings. So if I select this point, I should see X, Y, Z coordinates according to my project coordinates and according to my internal shared coordinate system. So it means X, Y numbers should look like this one. Now, after export, I have numbers which are represented in this numbers, so it's a little bit not good, because if I want to see my plan on the program and to have all the coordinates, other parts, so in this case, I can do organize and check out the coordinate system from online map. So this coordination part should be done in Civil 3D. Now I am showing you just simple AutoCAD application. In AutoCAD, you can zoom in and select approximate location. Always, it would be nice if you can select exact location. And my project is located here. I zoom into my project and put the point here. Drag marker here, so I can drag and put the marker, let's say, approximately to this location, or I can put the marker exactly in the latitude longitude location if I open Civil 3D project, or I can do it inside the Revit, and I have coordinates here, but these coordinates are also from the Lithuanian coordinate system. So if I would like to see global coordinate system, so I should go to manage, I should select location, and my coordinates are represented here. So I can just make the screenshot and I can just go inside my notes. And put the screenshot, so I can take the data out from my model. Or you can take the data out from the planary. In the planary, we have the same coordinates also. But in planary, I think the point is a little bit indifferent. So we have global coordinates. And we made some modifications for our project because we selected in LabWork project 03 and 23 side points. So this is our base point. So in our case, also I can just put this image here. Send, okay. And now I just can copy, let's say, maybe this workflow is not the best one, but in case, let's type 597269806 and 25.0554197. So these are latitude, longitudinal coordinates, and in here I can try to move it by hand, but in this case, maybe I can just copy this location here and click Find and drop the marker to this position. Okay, so in this case, survey point was selected. I don't need, so my survey point should be this one point. I think this is my survey point. So maybe I can also select the survey point on my drawing. Let's try to do like that. And elevation is 145 meters, I think, according to Planary. And I can click Next. In here, I should select the coordination system. So coordination system, in our case, LIT, Lithuanian coordinate system. And I think LKS, this one. Yeah, this one. Okay. The time zone should be selected Vilnius time zone. And my drawing is in millimeters. Okay, I can click Next. And now I select the survey point location and show the north arrow location. And now I have the main point here. And here is my project, how it will be located in my surroundings. I can see information. And now if I select the same point which I created here, so AutoCAD is not showing coordinates and coordinate system. It shows position X, Y, Z based from internal origin point. And if I want to see real coordinates, I should jump to Civil 3D, or I can put the markers. So point marker, and I just can put it here. So let's say position 1. And if I select this one, so I am also not seeing Lithuanian coordinate system coordinates. I just see latitude, longitudinal coordinates according to main global coordinate system. And like I mentioned, if you want to see global real coordinates, so you should use specified tool like Civil 3D or AutoCAD map application. In any case, I can save this update on my site plan drawing because I did some modifications, and I can save it here. So now I should use transmittal tool. So in AutoCAD, if I want to use transmittal tool, I need to open the main drawing. So in this case, I should go back to exported files and select main drawing. And now I can go to AutoCAD and can select Publish. In Publish, I can see eTransmit. And do you want to save progress? Yes, I would like to save. And here, program automatically collects all the data. So it automatically collects all the reference files, XREFs. And if I want, I can add additional documents from my computer. And transmittal settings, standard, modify. Let's modify all this one. And eTransmit project. And I should enter the project number, so I know for which project I use this transmittal. So in this case, I will use the project number, project, and I put the number from the name, copy. So it means eTransmit project, and this is for this project. So after eTransmit, I want to have zip file. I want to use main file format, or you can choose the latest one. So the latest one, AutoCAD, is 2018. Maintain visual fidelity for annotated objects. Okay, let's leave check mark here. Transmittal file folder. So for now, I will just go and select temporary location before I upload it to the main location. I select disk D because my main project is on OneDrive, and it's better to select just documents or other locations so it doesn't have some issues with synchronization. So open disk D, okay. Prompt for file name. So it will ask how I would like to name my file, because now it gives me additional standard and something like that. I don't need it. Use organized folder structure. So I should follow this setting and use organized folder structure from my location. I can, yeah, so I can select my project folder structure and use it for this document. So now let's, okay, let's use organized folder structure. And all the files, like reference files, I should bind files here. I should purge the drawing. And if possible, it would be nice if you can bind the images. So logo files should be also bind in the main drawing. So the person who opens the drawing can see all the information in one file. Other settings include textures, files, format, photometric web files. So binding is recommended if you send the final file for people who don't know how to work with separate views. So it means maybe for the client and so on. If the person will use your drawings for his models and his work, so you should not use bind, because the person should get all the views in separate files. And let's click OK, and let's click close. And now let's click OK. Select the location, click change the name, delete this standard name, and click save. And after it finishes, if I go to disk D, I have a nice zip file for my DWG. So in this case, in the end, I can type DWG, so I know what is inside this zip file. And if I open, I have only 3 files: my report, my logo file, and combined DWG files in one file. So this will be version 1. And also, let's try to export the same eTransmittal document, publish eTransmit, and instead of binding, I will modify and select not bind and click OK, OK, OK. And in this case, it will be version 2. So let's go back to disk D, and here in version 2, you can see all the views are separate reference files. So which technique you will use in our project, it's not so important. So important is you create one zip file and you upload it to Trimble Connect and also to the Teams. Then you submit all the files. So it means I can cut all the files from disk D, and I can put all these files inside my project shared folder, which is called 03 folder shared. So all this one will be used shared. Okay, so DWG file done. And next file type is DWF or PDF. Let's jump to PDF file. So how to export PDF file? So PDF file you can export using several options. Standard old option is using print. You can click on print, and you can print using virtual printer, or you can print file on the paper. So according to Plenary, we have PDF 24 for printing. In class computers, you will not find PDF 24. So in here we have Qt PDF writer. So I select Qt PDF writer. I will combine all the PDF files in one file. Later, after we have more drawings, you should use this one to have only one PDF. Nice combine. And now I will use current window, so I will export current file. Later, if you will have more sheets, so you can open the selected views sheets and select the presets, and I can click preview and see the drawings. I can select sheets coordination, and I can export all the drawings based on these instructions. So for now, I will not use select views, I will use current window. In setup, I will select A2 format, or I can try to choose automatic file size recognition, but this typical tool, printing tool, is not having such option. So you need to create for each different file sheet size different settings. So in this case, A2 format, I select size, sheet size A2 format. I should use center. Zoom should be 100. Landscape, vector processing, raster quality should be high, and color mode. I would like to see drawings in colors. And I save all the presets for later. I can click OK, click preview, check out if all the drawing, all the objects are nicely organized. I see the sides are nicely 10 millimeters, so the sides from here 10 millimeters, and sides from the left side is 20 millimeters. So my drawing is nicely centered, and I have nice drawing. So engineer always should make pre-check and double check to see if all the information is nicely printed, prepared before sending any data. And now I can click print, click OK, and document should be printed. And I forgot to check in which location it will be exported. So, okay, the program asks me in which location to save the file. So I go to the project location, folder 03, and put my document here. Depending on PDF exporter, you have additional options to put additional data. So always you should fill up all the data for metadata. So the drawing has all the metadata, and it's better indexed in Windows, and you can easily recognize and find the documents inside your system. You can add the passwords, open saved PDF div, so you can select which program to use for opening files. Edit with free Qt PDF, and you can select much more settings here. So now I just click save and save the file. And after the file is saved, I just go to this folder, double tap the document, and check out if all the file and all the things are nicely prepared. So if I zoom in and the project or file or view is vector based, so I can zoom in and I will have nice lines and no problems to zoom in, zoom out. and I can print in high resolution. So the final drawing should look something like that. Now, if I will export one of views in raster representation, so I will put this one version 1, and for my 3D view, I will select view I would like to see not in color mode, but I would like to see the view in realistic mode. So it means the program will try to render some materials. Now I see nice trees and other components. And now if I click Control Print and print the same document again, save the project, don't save DVG. Okay, so version for this one will be number 2. And what will happen now? Okay. And if I zoom in a file which is raster based, so you can see what is the problem. All the image is from small squares, and this is difference raster. So here we have vector-based vector lines, and here we have raster lines. So here you can see the difference. So for representing realistic mode, it's nice to have this image, but from practical point of view, I recommend to use all these raster vector-based exports for all your drawings and all your information. But of course, for specific needs, you can create an image like this one. So I will change back to the consistent colors, select view template, model display, and select consistent colors. Now, option 2 for, I think for Revit 23-22, we have additional option to export PDF files. So it means we have special PDF exporter inside Revit integrated. And for your projects, I recommend to use this one. So this one is more advanced and it's better, and it has more options and more intelligent comparing to old technique. So now I select browse and select my project folder 03, click open. So in this location will be saved my files. File naming I leave as it is. So I will put version 3 for my file. I also would like to combine everything. So this application will recognize page size, and it can automatically assign needed page size. I should use center placement, zoom 100%, raster quality high, colors, color mode, vector processing, and below settings should be left as it is. For more settings, you should go to help page and read all the instructions here, and also see the video instructions, setup instructions, and other instructions are provided here. And let's make screenshot, and screenshot let's put inside our notebook, class notebooks. And nice screenshot. For later use. Okay, and I click export. Do you want to save these settings for use in a future Revit session? Yes, of course. And I select option, let's say for my project, PDF export setup settings, and I click OK. And now let's organize all the documents here by group and by type. So nicely, my documents are grouped in PDF location. So from here you can see version number 3 is quite big compared to other file formats. So Qt PDF is more optimized for printing. But in this case, I have high quality drawing, which is exported using this export tool, and it's vector based, and I have all the things here. In AutoCAD, I think if you export AutoCAD, you have layers. If you use exporting Revit models, I don't think you have any layers. Yeah, no layers. So if you want to have all layers inside your drawing, you should use AutoCAD to export and organize the information using layers. Close all tabs. Okay. So PDF part is done. And the last one is DWFx format. So more on DWFx format you can read in Plenary. If you go to file formats, and you can read more on the file formats in the Plenary. File formats, DWFx. So it's CAD format, design web format is secure file format developed by Autodesk. So it's like PDF, but it's more advanced and has more features. So how to export? I click export, DWFx, go to this page, go through settings, and it uses the printer settings as I saved it for simple printing. In this case, I have a main difference, paper size. So DWF printer automatically can recognize paper size. So I should select this option here. So zoom is 100%, and I should use center, landscape, OK, and click OK. Other settings I leave as it is, and project information is taken from my project information. And I click next, and also go to my project folder 03 and click save. OK. Now let's go to files, and here I have this file exported. In the Windows, I don't have a special application to open it because it's not installed here. So I need to install DV Design View application from Autodesk. In this case, if I want to check the drawing, I should also use free viewer, Autodesk viewer. I just go to this viewer, and I just drag and drop the file here. Upload file, drag and drop the file. And also, if I go back and check out my EFC file, so here is my EFC file, so nice 3D model, and I can select any object and click properties and check what are the properties of the object. Also, I can use, I think, Explode tool, and I can divide all the project into smaller parts in my project and see all the components of my project. And I can go back to the main setting. Also, I can open model browser, and I can go inside and select by floors and so on. So check out elements inside my model. So this is for viewing EFC file. Also, I can share the file with all the team. I can copy the link, and I can go to the Teams lab work number 1, and I can share the link to the file. and everybody can open it. Also, I can create screenshots and download pictures, or I can create comments. Check it out. And I can click post. Or I can use measurement tools and I can activate measurement and I can measure distance from one side to another side. And I have now inches, so I should select settings, meters, three decimal points, and yeah, 48 meters on my project. And I can zoom in and can click save and done. And DWF file is also prepared. So comparing DWF file with simple PDF file, we have smart option here. So it means my drawing is smart. I can select objects in my drawing and it will automatically select objects in all views. And also I can select properties and I can see the volume, the surface area of the object inside this view. So it means I can select any object. And also I can do measurements like in EFC file. In this case, I can also measure area if I want to measure area of my room or my element. So I see measurements in millimeters. Let's go to settings. Let's change it to meters. And now I have the area in meters. Also, I can put distance and distance and can measure the distance from one point to another. Okay, distance tool from here to here. Okay, it's area. I don't want area. Measurement tool, and I want distance. Distance from here to here. Yeah, distance. I think my area is not letting me to put a simple distance. In any case, I can just measure, and it nicely snaps to elements in my drawing. And I can use snapping tool and I can put the settings. Okay. And also I can put some comments if I see some problems. Let's say some strange object here. So I can put the object and create markings on my object and click comments and send it to the team to check it out. So this tool is for free and anybody can use it to open CAD and other files. And also all these functions are possible to use in Trimble Connect. In Trimble Connect, we can open EFC file and DVG file, I think, PDF file, but DWF file is not supported in Trimble Connect. So Trimble Connect doesn't have all the features. Okay. Let's check out file formats. So I explained all the file formats, how to export. After export, always open the file, check if it's nicely created, doesn't have mistakes. And if you want to see how other students made mistakes exporting files and what are typical mistakes, you can jump into class notebooks, go to the content library and select lectures, and in the lectures you can find typical mistakes. Typical mistakes. Course, multi-exams, and where's typical mistakes. So maybe I didn't upload them here. Test control works, literature, general part. Course, homework, and lab work. I don't see typical mistakes, so maybe I didn't include it in this notes. Okay, maybe I can later update the note file. Okay, so this part is done. So I think we can make break, and after break we can meet again and discuss next steps in lab work number 2, and also some discussion regarding lab work number 1. Okay, so let's go to the clock. Let's stop the clock.